I've spent years telling people that One Piece is unadaptable. I've said it to friends, I've thought it while reading the manga, and I felt it every time a Western studio tried to touch anime. So, sitting down to watch the 2023 Netflix series was less of a viewing experience and more of a test. I'm not a newcomer. I've seen the help me scene a dozen times. I know why Zoro carries three swords. I didn't watch this to be surprised by the plot. I watched it to see if they could capture the feeling. And honestly, for a show that looks like high-budget cosplay and shouldn't work on paper, it gave me something I didn't expect. It made me smile. It made me feel like a dreamer again. Today, I'm not here to give you a top 10 Easter eggs video. I'm just here to talk to myself about what this 10 of 10 adaptation feels like, even if I still think the rest of the story is impossible to finish. There's a moment in episode 6 that stopped me in my tracks. It wasn't a fight. It wasn't a CGI monster. It was just Luffy asking Nami about her dream. Nami said something that felt so grounded, so human. She talks about how people eventually outgrow their dreams. It's a cynical thought, but it's one we've all had in the real world. It felt like One Piece at its absolute core. I didn't need a shot-for-shot remake. I needed to see that these characters understood the weight of a dream. In that scene, the show managed to be both nostalgic and entirely new. It gave Nami a layer of weariness that made Luffy's optimism feel even more necessary. That's why the barrel ceremony hits so hard. It's about the world finally noticing a dreamer who refuses to grow up. The show doesn't just tell us dreams are important, it shows us how rare and fragile they are in a world that tries to crush them. Let's address the elephant in the room, the way this show looks. When the first trailers dropped, we thought it looked like high-budget cosplay. The colors are too bright, the wigs are unmistakable. But then something clicked. One Piece isn't supposed to be grounded, it's supposed to be ridiculous. By leaning into that cosplay aesthetic, the show makes a demand. Come with an open mind. If you can't get past a guy with green hair or a fishman in a Hawaiian shirt, you aren't ready for the heart of this story anyway. It embraces the absurdity rather than trying to fix it for a Western audience. It uses that colorful exterior to protect the very real, very human soul underneath. I'm giving Season 1 a 10 out of 10, but here's my hot take as we look toward the future. I still think One Piece is unadaptable. Season 1 was the easy part. We're moving into a world of giants, of Sky Island, and of a doctor who happens to be a blue-nosed reindeer. The scale of what's coming is terrifying. How do you do Chopper without it looking horrifying? How do you maintain this heart when the world expands into thousands of episodes of lore? I honestly don't know if they can keep this up. The curse might not be broken forever. It might just be on hiatus. But maybe that doesn't matter. Luffy's whole philosophy is about the journey, not just the destination. It was the best show of 2023 for me, and even with all my skepticism, it is easily my most anticipated show for 2026. We can dream, right? And in the world of One Piece, that's usually enough. See you on the Grand Line.